undefeated #1 South Carolina hosting number 11 Yukon, who comes in on a 3-game winning streak. Fresh off Coach Geno Auriemma, one of the GOATs of the game, racking up his 1,200 win, bro. We got to talk about it, y'all. This is a mega matchup between two of the most historic programs. The present superpower versus the past superpower. We got mad star power. These teams have matched up before, yes, but the rosters look completely different now. Before we get into all that full game breakdown and some praise from Don Staley about Paige Bueckers, before we get into all that, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for all the latest and the greatest and join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming weekly, daily, whenever you need it. Now, let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
We know the knock on Yukon coming into this game. They don't have depth. They haven't beat a whole lot of good teams. When they've played on the biggest stages, they've come up short a few times. We know. They got Paige Bueckers, they got Aaliyah Edwards, but who else is going to step up to this juggernaut of a defense for South Carolina? Who's going to step up for Yukon? Who's going to make the plays? We know they've lost half their roster to injuries, but what can they do to stand a chance in this contest? Yukon comes in averaging 82.5 points per game, and they've been playing really good defense as of late. They've upped their scoring margin to 23.5, and they're only giving up 59 points per game. Now, where they need to really step it up is the three-point shooting if they're going to have a chance against South Carolina, because they don't exactly have the bigs or the depth to compete on the glass. There's not going to be a whole bunch of second-chance shots. So they need to make the three ball, man. They're shooting over 37% from the three right now. And I imagine this is going to be a game where we see them hoist a lot of threes, man. I do expect them to attack the basket, too, without Camila Cardoso. But I definitely expect the shooters to let it fly in this game. Looking at the breakdown, they have a well-balanced offense, too. They have multiple double-digit scores. Of course, the 1-2 punch, Paige Bueckers, averaging 20 points, 4.5 rebounds, almost 4 assists, leads the team in steals, averaging a block per game. She's playing the best defense she's played. She's scoring the basketball from all three levels. She's playing the forward spot at times. She's playing the point guard spot at times. She's lined up all over the court, man. And Paige Bueckers is the real deal. She's battle-tested. She's hungry. She's a dog. She's playing the best basketball of her career, potentially. She's on a hot streak right now. And she's just locked in like we have not seen in a long time, man, from a player. Like, she is 100% on go mode. And, man, this just feels like a redemption season for her. Yeah, UConn's lost basically half their roster to season-ending injuries. But Bueckers is steering the ship. And Coach Don Staley had some high praise for her.
There's no fat to Paige's game. Like, it's all lean. Like, everything that she does has a purpose. There's no wasted movements out there on the floor. So if you have some slippage defensively, she's gonna make you pay with her shot. She's gonna make you pay with her ability and vision. She's gonna make you pay with rebounding the basketball. She's that kind of player, just super well put together. And I do think she's put the work in to have the type of performances. Like, to have a guard to shoot 50, almost 50. From 3, 52, 53, 54 from the floor. Very, very dangerous.
On the other side, the other half of that 1-2 point punch, you got Aaliyah Edwards, who has been playing bananas the last 5 games, man. She's on a tear. She's averaging over 17 points, almost 9 rebounds, and over 2 assists per game. Also, averaging 1.5 steals per game. She has to be major. And last time these teams matched up, she had a good game. And that was back when South Carolina had a little bit more size. But Aaliyah Edwards might be the key, man. She's skilled, she's big, she's physical. She can play bigger than she is at 6'3". She can bring these she can bring these South Carolina guards out from under the basket and really light it up from the mid range. She's got a nice shooting stroke, and it's been more consistent throughout the season. Leah Edwards is going to be massive. She's going to have to work to try to get players like Ashlyn Watkins, Chloe Kitts, Fagan, and company. She's going to have to work to get them in foul trouble. And that is how Yukon evens the playing field. If they can wear down this front court and get them in foul trouble and find Edwards consistently and allow her to make plays and run that offense through the post, along with Paige Bueckers having a huge game, we know that backcourt of South Carolina is just tenacious on the defensive side of the basketball. So Beckers and Edwards are going to have a lot of different players, I'm thinking, getting thrown at them, man. I think Don Staley's going to throw multiple looks at them, and they're going to have to adjust. But they've been the focal point of this offense. They've been the focal point of this team. They've been around. They're experienced. They've played in big games. They've built chemistry with each other. And they're both really steering the ship. But Edwards is going to be key. Her and Beckers have to play big, or this game is going to get beyond ugly. It's going to be a complete blowout if these two do not come together and make plays. But just the competitive nature of Paige Bueckers, man, I do not see this. I don't know. I just know UConn's going to come in and fight. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come in and scrap. They are absolutely going to need their role players to step up. And we know that UConn is playing 4 freshmen, man. They got some young bucks out there, but Ashlyn Shade really finding her stride these last few games. She had 17 points in their last matchup. You also got to account for KK Arnold, who is a tenacious defender, can slash and can make shots, a playmaker for this group, running the point guard position, plays some off ball as well. They're going to need her to step up, man. Like, she's one of those players that has shown in flashes what she can do being Big East Freshman of the Year a few times. Like, they're going to need that performance out of her. Got to be strong with the basketball. And they really need Ashlyn Shea to make definitely need her to make shots. Being the third leading scorer on this team, they need her to make plays. Nika Mule is also a big time player that I think has to play really good at the point guard position. She's leading the team in assists right now with 6.3 assists per game. She's really good at getting others involved, finding these players in their sweet spots, making things easier for these other scorers to really get in rhythm. So she's got to be huge. She's got to be strong with the basketball. Now, potentially matching up with Tina Powell or Raven Johnson in that backcourt. They're going to pressure her. She's got to be strong with the basketball. She cannot be out there turning it over. She needs to try to control the tempo and get Yukon in their offense. If they're getting transition buckets, she needs to be running that transition, making the right decision, and getting easy buckets. Because you need every easy bucket you can get against South Carolina and more. So they're going to need her to step up, man. I think that she could be an X factor at the point guard position just with her skill set, along with just her poise and the fact that, man, she has just been, Paige Bueckers was the point guard for this team for a while, and they really had to lock her in more on scoring. And Mule has done a fantastic job of running the show, to be honest with y'all. They need these guards to make plays. They need these guards to make shots, and they need to get the ball to Aaliyah Edwards. They got to compete on the glass as a team, though.